Yeah. So it looks like first we have Michael on Mono Blue Tempo and Mark on Boros.
Mark, yep. Boros Aggro, I would imagine, is
Probably.
the meta deck. However, as I like to tell people, you're free to play whatever you want.
Yeah, Mark's not usually one to follow the meta too closely.
Correct.
He likes to play
He's
Magic.
A contrarian, if you will. He will go out of his way to not play the meta.
True. So I'm gonna guess we're gonna see quite a few mentor shenanigans going on here.
Mentor shenanigan. Yeah. Oh, mentor. Yes, that's a mechanic.
It is.
I've recently given up standard. I'm now on the patch.
It's a good format to give up.
Yeah. But I did play a lot. I hope to bring good amount of commentary and insight
into the format
or to the stream that I no longer play.
Yeah.
And then
I'm with you too, buddy.
I'll probably occasionally make fun of the table judge.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes he deserves it.
Careful.
Let's see.
Our table judge tonight is Gerard, who was in here with me last week for the stream.
Imagine the Boros deck in this matchup is probably the beatdown, while Michael will be trying to stave off any pressure.
Yeah. We've seen Michael play this deck on stream before. It's pretty good at that.
Unless this Mono Blue Tempo is actually the Mono Blue Aggro deck, in which case I think it'll be able to turn the corner a lot faster than the Boros can close out the match.
Yeah. Agreed.
Meaning Mark will probably put things out there and then try to make something happen, while Michael's
just flying over
Jin will just be very large.
Yeah.
And then the Boros deck will probably have to get on the back foot and try to restabilize.
Which never is good as an aggro list.
Correct.
There's the Jin, the Tempest Jin.
Is that what it is? Yes.
Yeah. Somehow there's a wave in the sky.
In the sky? What do you mean?
I mean, his body, lower half is clouds. And there's a wave behind him. You don't see clouds at sea level. It's called fog when it's at sea level.
Well, they are the most respected by the storm and sea, so it might be that he's actually from the ocean. A derivative, if you will, from the ocean.
Okay.
As the flavor text would allude.
Well, I mean, that would require reading and stuff.
Correct. Yeah. Reading's hard. And when somebody tells you to read the card,
yeah, you
should start with the flavor text. You go, I still don't understand. I've read half the card already, and I don't understand what it does.
Yeah.
All I know is that this is the first to arrive on Dominaria. Let's see. We have that looks like what's that card?
Garrison Sergeant.
That's Tajik.
Okay.
We have an Aurelia. Relentless Raptor.
And a Relentless Raptor.
The Relentless Raptor has to attack and block each turn if able, if I recall.
It's a 2-mana 3/3, right?
2-mana 3/3 Vigilance, must attack and block each turn if able.
That's not bad.
The and block part probably won't be as relevant with blue flyers.
Yeah. Agreed.
But the and attack part is going to be quite bad in the face of a Tempest Jin.
Yeah, running a 3 toughness creature into a 4 toughness creature doesn't usually end out too well.
So that's what I would like to see. I would like to see turn 3 Tempest Jin in the face of this Raptor here.
That'd be pretty good.
So a 3/4 blocking that 3/3 would be kind of funny. I would expect Mark to sideboard those out.
So we see Michael passing here. Not a lot of gas on turn 2 for that deck, I guess.
Yeah, I'd expect to see something. Merfolk Trickster looks like to be the play here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He didn't play the Mistcloak Herald, which he probably drew on turn 2 rather than...
Is that a River Sneak next to it?
I didn't notice.
So Michael ready to just cast that Trickster.
Yeah, I think there might be some a few mix-ups with the beginning of combat and going to combat. And he's blocking Tajik. Doesn't Tajik have first strike?
It does, but it loses all abilities. Oh, so he did it after combat.
Okay.
It's not a bad trade, I guess.
Sure. Tajik. I didn't know Tajik was traditionally in these lists. This is the bounce creature. I think it's a 2/3 or a 2/2.
2/2. Exclusion Mage.
Exclusion Mage. Yep. I looked at playing this in a couple of lists.
So there's an Aurelia.
Aurelia's pretty good in the face of a 2/2.
Matches up fairly well.
Turn 4 here. I would like to see a Djinn.
Night Veil Sprite and
the Mystical Carol, yep. One with Surveil, one with Can't Be Blocked.
Yep.
I don't know how this deck is going to leverage the Can't Be Blocked clause.
It's the Sky Terror?
Yep. Yeah, he's literally just playing everything that was both red and white in his deck. And we've yet to see a single mono-colored thing other than lands. Flavorful.
It's the Boros Legion, man.
We got it. We're doing that thing that Fox talks about where he tries to like turn his head around the corner of the TV.
Look around, yeah. Get a different angle on the hand.
I think it comes from years of playing Nintendo. Where, like, you stick your tongue out.
Yeah.
When you're trying to jump, and you like throw
where
your
you
head
like move
in
the
air.
controller in the direction you're trying to jump.
Because it helps.
Yeah.
What we have
Combat for 1.
Flapping cards on Mark's side. Relentless Raptor. And a lot of Relentless Raptors. 3 to 4. I think it was 4. We had an Essence Scatter, which is a really odd card to see main deck from a semi-aggro deck. It's very narrow. For me, I would say it's narrow. Clearly, people are allowed to play what they like.
True. I agree with you, though. Feels like there's much better things you can be doing with 2 mana.
Yeah.
To advance your game plan.
What's the Kite Sail Marauder? Is that the one? What's the one that makes something into the 0/1?
War Kite Marauder.
War Kite.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, definitely. I like that card a little bit better in the instead of Essence Scatter in the main.
Yeah. What do we got? I haven't seen a Charter Course yet, or the Wizard's Retort. I haven't seen that.
I'm surprised we didn't see a Siren Storm Tamer yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 1 mana sack counter.
Seeing Mentor triggers.
Not Mentor.
Yeah.
That's the buff from Aurelia. I
think he targeted Aurelia with the buffs and then mentored the.
She has Mentor as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been that long since I've played with Aurelia, I guess. As you would expect, as I played a lot of Control.
Yeah. I remember there was a point in time where you refused to play Islands.
Yeah, there was. I actually deliberately took time out of a few seasons to break some mental traps I was giving myself. Where I really hated Control. I hated playing against Control. I didn't like people who played Control. I was just like anti-Control, and I said, you know what? To be a better Magic player, you need to explore everything. And by doing so, actually gave me better insight into how different decks play. So by forcing myself to just play Control rather than not like it so much and ignore it, you actually learn quite a bit more. You learn play patterns, you learn what's important, what's not important. And as a Control player, you really benefit from knowing a format. So for somebody like myself, who I felt knew a large amount about the rest of the format, mid-range decks and aggro decks, Control or combo, learning Control actually was very beneficial to me in combating other Control decks. Understanding what to care about, what not to care about. And
you learn a lot of lines of play that you might not have seen otherwise.
Right. So I took a few seasons of Standard to really, open my mind. Stop being so narrow-minded about what I like or don't like.
I did something similar with Cons Block. For the whole time I refused to play Siege Rhino. And then about a month and a half before rotation, started playing Siege Rhino. It became one of my favorite Magic cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Siege Rhino being one of those cards that I wouldn't have liked. I probably would. I like it now. It's obviously a good card that did stuff. I'm typically somebody who does not play the norm, and I tend to be a bit unexpected. And I don't typically find myself playing the deck everybody thinks is the best deck.
No.
I'd rather play the deck that beats that deck and has game against the other decks that are trying to beat it as well. So like last season of Standard, I played a lot of the Mono Blue Artifact.
Yeah.
It had really good matchups.
It's a lot of fun to watch
against the best decks, and it also has a lot to do with your meta. If your meta is not chock full of one type of thing, then you can get away playing other types of decks. I think other than yourself, actually, I think here I was the only person playing control for a while.
Yeah.
So that really lent itself to allow me to leverage percentages. So if I already knew what people were going to play and I knew nobody else was going to be playing control, I didn't have to worry about the control matchup as much. So I could slant my deck towards playing against aggro decks, which is typically what we find around this meta.
Yeah, agreed.
But that takes time to realize and kind of like break your own mental space of what you want to play, what you should play. But also there's things to think about, like we have kids that play at the store. They don't have unlimited resources to buy whatever they want, to play whatever they want. Where I did, I had the ability to play whatever I wanted to play whenever I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
And
it also helps with learning the format a lot easier. You don't got to worry about putting together, trading for a different deck every time you want to try something new.
Right. There's a lot of feel bads in that too.
Yeah.
And if you spend money trying to buy into a deck as a small child or something, and you don't have a lot of funds, then when that deck becomes irrelevant or hard to play in your meta, it can be a feel bad.
Sitting on a pile of.
All right, so turn 1 Storm Tamer. It's one of the things we talked about last game. It looks like I saw a negate come in. There's a lava coil on Mark's side.
So if I see a monocolored creature at a mark, a Healer's Hawk.
Yeah, Healer's Hawk is his very first monocolored.
That card is real sweet.
It's good in limited, I know that. It seems a bit mopey in the face of
we still got Essence
what
Scatter.
Michael's trying to do. Be well.
You as well.
What do we got here? This looks weird. Oh, that's that hammer dropper, I think, in his hand.
Yeah, let's put another Sky Terror.
Leaving one white open. Probably not for Path to Exile.
Seems unlikely.
One can only hope. I haven't seen somebody lose a game for playing a card in a while.
I have seen Mark cycle Secluded Step in Modern before, though.
Oh, yeah. Secluded Step. Yeah. Let's see. Still nothing else from...
What is that?
Oh, no, that's not Hammer Dropper. That's the Skylight Legionnaire. That's the old art.
It's a reprint?
Yeah, it's been reprinted a few times. I'm pretty sure that's Skylight Legionnaire.
It seems like
Flying in haste.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was a reprint.
Ooh, Curious Obsession. About to draw a card.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so this is one of the arts for Skylight Legionnaire. There's a few of them. I believe...
It's a pretty sweet card.
I think Mark has one of the Master Set ones. Or no, that might be an original replica. Who knows?
It's got the newest card frame.
There he is, yeah, Modern Masters 2017. We got more Essence Scatters, which, now that we know what Mark's playing, these Essence Scatters weren't actually that bad. Game 1. However, you're not putting out a lot of pressure, and when somebody has 3 creatures on the battlefield and you have your 1, what are you really doing with mono blue mana against an aggro deck?
Yeah, Mike's not doing anything to slow down, stem the bleeding.
Maybe like some deep freezes would be neat.
I think I saw him side in a sleep or two.
Sleep.
So Ixalan's binding on the Storm Tamer.
That's unfortunate. That doesn't exile it, does it?
It does.
It does. So those Curious Obsessions should go away.
Yeah. So we see.
I don't know that it'll be.
Spears,
I don't know that it'll be. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it didn't land. This is the Trickster tapping the... This is one of those times if I was our table judge, I would be trying to educate our players on timing and allowing their opponents to...
Yeah, the other thing I would be extremely worried about is organizing his board state.
Yeah, he has a land in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Stacking all of his lands. That's just me. I'm very picky about timing because I think it breeds an environment where people take notice of the little parts of Magic, and I think it breeds a better community of players. Whereas you go, I play creature swing. There's a lot of things you skip there, and not allowing your opponent to respond to maybe you trying to go to combat.
So we see a pretty good grip of cards there. So Lava Coil. I imagine that dive down is going to get played here.
Lava, yeah. I mean, this is your biggest thing to turn the corner with. I would imagine you'd protect it at all costs. Wizard's Retort, paid at... Is that full? No, it should be for 1 mana. Yeah, because he has a wizard.
Oh, gotcha.
You got to swing for... Really, he's... I would just snap block one of those things.
Agreed.
That's a... Okay. It looks like Mark just values getting in there rather than... saving his creatures.
I mean, Michael is at 3.
Yeah, any burn, like a lightning strike or something off the top is lethal. So, but you know you are playing against a mono blue deck, so he also has these
Tempest Caller.
Yeah, anything to tap his creatures here at instant speed before combat would be nice too. Another Djinn.
See an Essence Scatter in his hand.
I see the Mistcloaked Herald in his hand. I don't know if I would have kept that in. As a mono blue player against an aggro deck, you're probably taking the control route. You're not the beatdown.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to outrace Boros.
You know, it's a thing, I guess. If you have nothing else to put in, but not something I would have left in. You're trying to play a longer game, not a fast game.
So we got a seal away from Mark.
So
I'd imagine we're going to see this Essence Scatter. Michael hasn't been.
Hopefully, he's not using a Wizard's Retort. I wouldn't care about anything that was not attacking this turn. Especially when you're on the crackback, you have the ability.
He's going to dive down there to save the.
Yep. It looks like lethal on the crackback. I don't know why he would swing both of his creatures. Unless he's got... I don't know what 1 red mana is going to do for him, but...
He's going to have a shock.
But it looks like Shock's not going to prevent these 2 Djinns from getting in for...
But it doesn't
10,
kill him.
At least 10.
It does kill Michael.
Yeah, so Mark just conceded. Entrancing Melody is also a thing. That's actually probably not bad.
Sure. If he steals a creature?
Yeah. If he has, it's X blue. Take converted mana cost basically, so it checks the creature's converted mana cost at X. And with Mark playing such
cheap creatures,
it would make sense. Especially when you flood out. If Michael's flooding out, then he could use Entrancing Melody to get, say, an Aurelia.
Yeah.
Which I can't.
That's a big
Aurelia,
swing in combat power.
Yeah, an Aurelia triggering onto a Djinn is probably lights out. Deep Freeze is still a card I think should be played. It's
turns into a 0/4 defender.
0/4 wall, yeah. Blue wall. That would be pretty good, especially when you're flying deck, right? So you have a flying deck, and you just make it a wall. Turn all of his Sky Terrors I don't think should be in the deck anymore.
It is a 2 mana, 2 power menace creature.
Menace, yeah, I guess that's relevant.
There's definitely worse 2-drops Mark could be playing.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. You said Sleep was a card.
Yeah.
Tap all creatures.
Tap all creatures they don't untap during the next untap step. Okay. Card has won me so many games in Arena.
Seal Away made sense. Michael's playing larger but fewer creatures.
Yeah. He's definitely more in the tempo control route than the aggro side of this deck.
Yeah, I think it would also leave yourself open to. I guess one reason I probably wouldn't care for Seal Away is it leaves yourself open to cards that bounce permanents on like blue cards that bounce permanent. I'm trying to think of the names of the ones that are in standard.
Blink of an eye.
Blink, yeah. So it blinks a Seal Away, end a turn or a while, marks attacking, blinking on a Seal Away. Could be a pretty big blowout.
I definitely like Baffling End a little bit better in this matchup.
Yes, Baffling End makes more sense. Giving the mono blue deck a 3/3 when a lot of your stuff is either a 3/3 or bigger seems perfectly fine.
Well, I think they only get the 3/3 if Baffling End would be destroyed, right?
Correct. Yeah, meaning if they try to bounce that to get the creature out of it. Like if we're already if it's on.
Do they get it if Baffling End leaves the battlefield? I thought it was if Baffling End went to the graveyard, they get the 3/3.
I'd have to look on that. I don't think I recall exactly.
So we got a shock fired off right away.
And just to the face.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Especially more surprising that we know he has Mistcloaked Herald still in.
Mm-hmm. So now we see a Sky Knight Legionnaire. Mark giving his opponent the proper amount of time now to make his response, and we will see a Merfolk Trickster.
Baffling End
still see it turning the thing sideways.
Baffling End is when it leaves the battlefield.
Okay. So we got a Curious Obsession on that Trickster. Crackback for 3. I believe we should have Michael at 16. I don't know. Tapped before combat.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 for an Aurelia. We see a Wizard's Retort. Swing for 2.
That retort is actually a pretty big play. Aurelia is Mark's way of stabilizing here. I would say Michael's probably well in the driver's seat in this match.
Yeah.
And he's set to outpace Mark.
Yeah, he's drawing a card every turn.
I mean, he's had answers, and especially to Mark's biggest threats. Like, I wouldn't care about this 2/2.
Yeah.
All that much.
So we had a Lava Quill. We'll see Michael spend some resources to save it here. Another Wizard's Retort. I didn't expect that resource to be spent.
All I can tell Michael has is an island right now. Looks like he's trying to show the camera what he has, but you know, we don't typically stay on side cameras that much. Spell Pierce, Exclusion Mage. Exclusion Mage is pretty good. Especially for that Sky Terror. You just start getting your beats in, get that card drawn still. I would Exclusion Mage the. Yep. Draw your cards. Yep. And Surveil. So he's stacking his triggers. Well, is it on attack?
Yeah, the Surveil trigger's on attack.
Yeah, it's on attack. That's actually even better with Curious Obsession.
Yeah.
So if you do want the card, put it on top, draw it. If you don't want it, bin it. Get something.
And then draw the same card.
A lot of Spell Pierces here. And when Mark's still playing small creatures and has all that mana, it's less of a drawback. Spell Pierce is really for decks that want to close out quickly. Get in before...
What did he just play there?
What is that? This is probably a Mark.
Oh, that's
this is a Mark card.
Take Heart, I believe. So he gets
no idea what that does.
It gives a creature +2/+2, and then you gain 1 for each attacking creature.
But as we see here, he plays Bam Bam, plays both of them. This is one of those times I would say, hold up. I'm allowed to respond to the first one.
Yeah.
Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You gain 1 on each attacking
Gerard
creature.
is slowing it down, backing it up a step.
Yep. You can tell it's Gerard because of those lovely hands.
As big as the entire table.
Yeah. If you've ever wondered what it's like having the Hulk judge your Magic game and occasionally reach in and manhandle your cards,
that is what we experience twice a week here at Other Realms.
What we should do is give him those giant Hulk gloves that he has to reach in and only use with his knuckles, and then tap the life counter we have for him.
Yeah, so we see The Trickster coming in, tapping on that last blocker.
So what happened
here?
here?
A swing for 8 here.
Marks at 12, gained what? 2 life for each of those?
1 life for each of those. There was only 1 attacking creature. The Skytear got tapped by the Trickster.
Okay.
So it's a swing for 8. Got a Surveil trigger. Looks like he's going to leave it on top.
I'd be digging for anything that wasn't a land that dealt with this board state and kept me in the lead. I might even consider just not attacking with everything and holding up blocks.
Agreed. I probably would have left at least the Sprite up for blocking.
The Trickster makes sense because it attacks on the ground. This is a Storm Tamer. And Exclusion Mage. That's good. It's good that he bounced the one that doesn't have haste.
Yeah.
Smart play. Looks like we got Tajik in hand. Slamming it down. Let's make sure that he taps all of his mana correctly.
So he activated the ability of Tajik First Strike. Yeah.
Mentor trigger. 3/3. I would snap block here. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
I would probably jump where I could to stay alive on the crackback. Looks like.
Yeah, Marcus is dead on the crackback. There's still 8 power coming in.
I don't know what this is up
That's
here.
the Trickster with the Curious Obsession.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so no mana open, right?
Yeah, no, he's tapped out.
Okay. That seems really odd. Mark looks like he's scooping it up. Good handshake. Sportsmanship is important.
Yes, it is. So Michael pretty thoroughly had that game in hand. Even though his life total was low, I don't think he had much to worry about from Mark there.
I would say, given the way that things played out, the Wizard's Retort on the Aurelia early in the game was very important. If
Agreed.
that wasn't countered, the game would have gone a lot different. Because after that, he didn't have a lot of counters for Aurelia. He had Bounce, the Exclusion Mage.
Yeah, the Spell Pierce.
Yeah, a couple Spell Pierce.